gathering marked by conviction and diversity, as citizens, civil society groups, traditional rulers and advocacy organizations from across the South-South converged on 4 points by Sheraton, Ikorekpene, Akwa Ibom State, their mission to influence the next chapter of Nigeria's constitutional journey. Among the top issues raised were calls for state creation, with the South-South submitting proposals for 6 new states and the establishment of 3 new local government areas, while some proposals garnered widespread support, others sparked intense opposition.
The Ishakiri people, neither is their voice heard, nor are they even seen, both at the policy making and policy implementation level. To this end, we bring to your table for an amendment or inclusion of the proposed clause, so that the minority ethnic nationality will be protected. Alternatively, Mr. Chairman, that's why I said it's not just about state creation. We are also proposing the creation of Warri State with the headquarters in Warri, because we've been told times without number that he who pays the piper will take the tune. But surprisingly, we are contributing so much to the cover of the federation and nothing and absolutely nothing to show for it.
We are calling on you to help create the 6th Ndibo state for the Anioma nation. Now let us be clear. What is Anioma? A stands for Aniocha North and South. Ndokwa East, Ndokwa West. I stands for Ika. O stands for Osimiri. And of course, Ukwani will always go with the Ndokwa nation. Not many people know that Asaba was the first capital of Nigeria.
Ogoja was the O in the core. Up till now, over how many years now, decades now, Ogoja State has been pending. It's the oldest area of this state, of this country, the oldest province of the whole country that has not become a state. I come from the southern part of Cross River State. Ogoja is in the north. We have absolutely no problem with the creation of Ogoja State. We think it is a matter of justice. We think it is a matter of development and a matter of progress. Calabar is 6 or 7 hours away from Ogoja. Yeah. We need it for administrative reasons. Yeah.
On the entire bill, on the constitutional amendment, while Abobo states a robust position on all aspects of the constitutional amendments, we have presented in our memo a robust response, but the executive summary will be on the creation of Obono State.
Also high on the agenda was the Reserved Seats for Women bill, where stakeholders described it as a bold step towards gender parity, one they believed would amplify women's voices in governance and foster balanced representation.
We're asking that there's an amendment of the sections 48, 49, 71, 77, 91, 117 of the 1999 Constitution as amended.
You have a better government. You have a more effective representation. And please know that Nigerian women will respect you, especially this particular Senate.
Another heated moment came with the proposed removal of Labour from the exclusive legislative list, a move strongly opposed by the Nigeria Labour Congress. The union described the idea as a direct threat to workers' rights and national unity. Former NLC president and current lawmaker Senator Adams Oshomole lent his voice to the resistance, aligning with Labour's stance.
The Nigerian Labour Congress in Nigeria generally received a notice that there is a bill for an act to alter the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, to transfer labor, industrial relations, industrial dispute, and minimum wage from the exclusive legislative list to the concurrent legislative list and for related matters. And in view of this submission, we are saying no to the removal.
We will look at all the details and see what if there's a problem anywhere, but broadly, we are not about to repartition the country to different parts. It's one country. And people must understand the logic. You see, everybody wants the local government to be a country. Sorry, to be a state. You are not going to spend all your national resources, services, bureaucracy, pay governors and commissioners and political appointees. You need resources for development. So people need to think twice. People need to think twice. The next generation, people like you, should ask yourself, do you want a country where every other person is a governor or is a commissioner, or do you want a country that works with enough resources to build infrastructure? That for me is the issue. But if this was what I also want, for me, it's going to be a challenge. However, we must recognize that this is a serious exercise. And people should focus less about cake sharing and focus more about cake baking.
Amid the push for progressive reforms, a unique proposal also surfaced, the call for African Descent Citizenship Bill. Advocates urged the government to formally recognize and grant citizenship to descent of Africans who were forcefully taken during the transatlantic slave trade.
If this African Descendant Citizenship Bill is passed into law, it will bring about ancestral healing and reconciliation of their origin, investments and professional human capital injection into Nigerian economy, access to and promotion of Nigerian cultural diversity.
If you go right from indigenous Australians, New Zealand, the North America, United States, Canada, the Caribbean, all of them there in the CARICOM states, South America, South Latin America, and the Europe, those black people, in fact, one of the most intriguing part is a few days ago, not up to 1 week, our president, Senator Ahmed Bola Tinubu, traveled to St. Lucia, and he was hosted by the entire region of those Caribbean. All the leaders there, prime ministers, senate presidents, presidents, and that came, their stories are just one. They are Africans, mostly Nigerians, that we are forcefully taken away.
Liberty that they have been seeking for to return as citizens of their own ancestral homes. These are people whose ancestry is traceable to a particular community indigenous to Nigeria. So like my president has said, it's not a matter of somebody crying for what is not entitled to. If they had gone out of Nigeria voluntarily, that could have been a very difficult matter, but they were not.
The South-South session is part of a nationwide public hearing spanning all geopolitical zones, except the Northwest, which was postponed in honor of the late elder statesman Aminu Dantata. As the Senate committee reviews the numerous submissions, expectations remain high that the process will birth a more inclusive, just and forward-looking constitution. Jennifer Pius, ADBN News.
Welcome back. Before we kick-started this conversation,